American music, is that this is the home of the melting pot. You know, whether it's New York City or New Orleans, we have a wealth from all these different cultural influences that have come and made their home in the United States. That's what makes us interesting. That's what gives us strength and resiliency, is the differences in our cultural background, because that gives us strength. That gives us different answers to problems. We're not hooked into one particular way of looking at things. We have the ability to change and adapt. And that's what American music has done. And especially, it was real important to me when I stumbled upon, at the public library, the sort of pre-war recordings made in the 1920s and 30s that are a good example being Robert Johnson, that are so different than the music that I was hearing on the radio when I was growing up at this time in the 80s, in the 90s, because it wasn't music that was aimed specifically at me. It wasn't music created by a big music industry to try to figure out what it is that I wanted to hear. This was music made by people for their own reasons. In a lot of ways, it was music that they made to survive, just to get by, just like this is something that will give them strength and reinforce the things that they find valuable. And so I think that sets a really high bar for what music can be. And I would like to be a part of that thing. Not just selling records, not just trying to figure out what people want to hear, but what will really work for people.
And a part of that kind of continuity.
Yeah, I like being a part of this great river of music that did not start here in the United States, although parts of it did. But it's something that's happening, and I want to be a part of that. So I think you can't look back and try to recreate everything as if it was a museum replica. You want to take the things that work, that you like, and share them. And sometimes that means combining different things, really unexpected things.
Which is kind of endemic in the Austin scene, and what people think of as Austin music is combining a lot of different influences.
Yeah, I've said this for a long time. In Austin, you'll have a musician who plays in a country band on Saturday night, who plays in a rock band on Friday night, plays with a folk singer on Thursday, does a reggae act on Wednesday, plays in a live karaoke band on Thursday night, or whatever. Eventually, after doing that for a number of years, you stop worrying about genre and you start experiencing music. You start communicating through the music, and it's less about which particular hat you're supposed to wear for the gig.